Hi everybody, welcome to week 2. I'm going to go over this kind of quickly. I want to give you a quick overview of what's going on this week and do it with Educator opened up for us because I want to keep getting you familiar with the flow of stuff in the course. So the first thing you're going to do when you get that email saying that the new week's announcement is open is come in and read it. It will always come along with a link to the task. Well, it won't always come along. It will come along with mention of the new task sheet. I will try to remember to link to it every week, but I'll show you again where to find the task sheets you know from last week, but I'll show you again. I will post this Saturday, sometimes Friday. Really, the end of the week, the beginning of the week is Sunday, and every once in a while I'll post on Sunday. Sunday is actually the day I've committed to posting. I oftentimes do it a bit early because Sundays can sometimes be kind of busy around here. Today it's posted Saturday. You've still got till tomorrow to finish last week's work if you're not done yet. One thing I want to point out to you, if you click into course documents and come down to this packet, first of all, keep in mind the packet's the first thing you see, but the packet is not the thing that tells you what to do for the current week. The packet is a bunch of resources that you need to accomplish the tasks, things that you need for the whole unit. They're pretty much all linked to back in the task sheet, so you could actually never look at this probably. But I find sometimes it's hard to go back and remember what task sheet something was linked into, so it'll all be here for you as well. I've added this list of deadlines, and then I realized afterwards the boxes around them disappeared, so it's a little bit confusing. So let me go over that. I'll fix this on Monday when I'm back in my office. I don't have my HTML editor on my home system, so I'll have to do it in the office. These two should be together. At the end of week 4, which is the 7th of February, your resume and cover letter we're starting on this week are going to be due then. And we'll also have our first small group exercise, which will wrap up that week, and I'll be introducing that in a couple of weeks. At the end of Unit 1, that's going to be the 14th, Valentine's Day, you'll have your memo and business letter due, and then we'll start on the next unit that week as well. So just to clarify that. What is up for this week? Let's click on task sheets and find out. The week 2 tasks. First of all, the task sheets again are the place you go to find out what is due on a specific week. If it's not there, it's not due, and I can't emphasize that enough. I people who got confused about that last week. Understandably, we're still getting a feel for the flow of the course. There's reading due first, and do the reading at the beginning of the week. 2 chapters in Lannan. You can't skip the reading in this course. We don't have lectures. I may sometimes post a PowerPoint with an overview or a tutorial like this, but really, this is your lecture. The book is your lecture, so read that. At the end of that is an exercise I want you to do. This is going to kind of set a pattern for the rest of the semester. It includes a writing scenario. Here's a situation happening at work, and then it tells you to solve it or try to resolve it with a piece of writing. You should be applying what you've read in these first 2 chapters to that writing situation. Okay, so that's important. You'll be posting that to the week 2 discussion board. Your initial post is going to be due Thursday. That's your memo, and then a quick reflection on how you came about the approach you took in that memo. And then by Sunday, you'll need to write 2 follow-ups to other student posts, and you have to do that to get full credit for this activity. This will be the normal pattern for these discussions. Every once in a while, if it's a very challenging question, I might not require the follow-up, so you still always have to read this, but typically the initial post will be due Thursday, the follow-ups then by Sunday. We'll then get to work on developing that resume and cover letter. Now, even if you have a resume and cover letter, I don't want you using that for this assignment. You might draw on it a little bit, but I'm trying to teach you how to build these from the ground up, and the focus is not just on how to put together these 2 documents, but it's on audience analysis. In other words, understanding who you're writing to, in this case the employer you want to work with, and then designing your document to meet the needs that they've got. Okay, this is one reason I've given you these 2 worksheets, taking aim and self-assessment. Excuse me, once you've selected a job or a company, and more on that in just a second, to which you want to apply, then I want you to sit and fill out these worksheets. I won't read these. These are brainstorming activities, informational gathering activities for you, but if you've not done them, it will show in the cover letter and the resume you write for me, so I'm just warning you about that. This is something that takes some thought. I've got some additional resources for you in the Unit 2 links. Again, you can find all of these back in that Unit 1 resources packet if you forget where they are in terms of where the task sheet is. Now, you have a couple of options, and that's what I get into in here. First of all, you can choose between two kinds of jobs. You can apply for a job you're qualified for now, sort of a pay the bills kind of job. If that's the case, you got to be honest in your resume. I don't want you to fudge with it at all. Even if there's a gap in your employment or some sort of a problem that you're worried about affecting the success of your application, because that's the real world. We all have these sorts of things in our resumes, in our career history, in our lives. So part of what you'll be doing will be trying to address that. And really, in terms of the grade for this thing, addressing that in an interesting way or a useful or a way that shows some analysis and reflection will get you the grade, even if it's something that might not work in the real world. But hopefully, we'll develop a strategy that will help you overcome that when you're actually applying for a job. The other option is to apply for a job in your field. To do that, of course, you would need to have your education under your belt. So if you'd like, for that, you can pretend you've completed whatever education you have to complete. I want that to be an entry-level job that you're applying for, though. So pretend you've just graduated. If you're finishing here at Delta, if this is as far as you're going, that you've just graduated from Delta. If you're going to transfer after this someplace else, that you've just finished at whatever school you've transferred to. Okay? You can then kind of realistically fill in the gaps as best you can without going crazy. In other words, you can fib a little bit. If, for example, your field typically involves an internship, you can pretend you've had an internship. Okay, just don't go overboard. Don't pretend you somehow by some miracle got a job in your field in your junior year, and so you've got 2 years of experience or something like that. Again, what you want to be able to do is overcome that challenge of being an entry-level person in your field. Okay, by Sunday, you should have an idea of what job you want to do, apply to, and you should also have these filled out. I won't see any of that. Next week, we'll do something with those jobs that you've found. But really, if you fall behind on this, you'll fall behind. So you want to have these in place. Now, the other set of options you have, you can apply to a specific position. In other words, you can go online or go in the newspaper and find a job you want to apply for, or you can apply for a specific company, do sort of a cold application. So if you live in Midland, you know you want to work at Dow, even if they don't have a position open right now, you might want to get your resume in there, so you can assume that's your situation as well. Okay, that stuff you'll just hold on to for now. This first task, that memo, you will post over here in the communication area of the course. Click on discussion board, bang, there it is, and that's where you're going to post that. Okay, I'm done. As always, I'm here if you've got questions. In the next day or so, I will be uploading a new syllabus. It's exactly the same as the old one, except it will have my office hours. Of course, you can email, you can post to the help forum. Don't get confused without coming to me afterwards. If you get lost in an online course, it is very easy to stay lost. So take advantage of having a guy who's being paid here to help you not be lost. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, and have a good week.